today I wanted to talk to you about semaglutide, which is like all the new rave. Everyone's calling it like the skinny shot, and the relation to PCOS. So what the big question is first, if you have PCOS, I don't need to tell you what it is. But PCOS is Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. So what that is basically an overproduction of your androgen hormones, which are male hormones, that lead to you having enlarged ovaries and more cysts on those ovaries. Why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem because then it affects your ability to conceive or have children. So what we want to do is go ahead and tell you how these two things can work in conjunction to help improve your weight loss. And studies actually show if you lose about 5% of your overall body weight, that it helps regulate your period and normalize it, and your ovulation, which helps increases your ability to conceive, which is fantastic. So semaglutide actually helps you with regard to losing the weight and decreasing that insulin resistance. It makes it difficult to lose weight. There's actually a study going on right now in the UK, which you can actually participate in if you want to. Like I mentioned before, if you have PCOS, I don't have to tell you this, but the typical symptoms having to do with PCOS are a weight gain, excessive hair production, so you'll notice that you have like a beard or a mustache, and then multiple cysts on your ovaries, and irregular periods. Those are the most common signs and symptoms. So if you feel like this could be a problem for you, please feel free to reach out to your OBGYN so they can take a better look and see if what's going on. Ultrasounds can be done to evaluate your ovaries to see if it's an issue, and as well as looking at your hormone levels. Semaglutide is always an option. They're doing the studies right now to compare metformin versus semaglutide, and that's the study I was mentioning to you just a moment ago on clinicaltrials.gov. And if you have any questions, of course, always feel free to reach out. I'm happy to direct you in the right direction to see if there's something that we can do to help, because this is your health redefined. So one of the things with regard to semaglutide, particularly with PCOS or any weight loss program, is it's not intended for long-term use. It wants to help you to lose that weight, get to your goal weight, and then just kind of maintain it. Now the current studies, of course, as I mentioned before, between metformin and semaglutide. The semaglutide group are actually losing more significant amount of weight than they do with the metformin. So how that works is that semaglutide is a peptide, and a peptide is naturally occurring. It's just chains of amino acids together that are specific to do certain things in your body. With regard to semaglutide, it kind of slows down your gut. That makes you feel as though you're not as hungry as often, so it's not technically an appetite suppressant. Slows things down, decreases your insulin resistance, decreases your fasting glucose levels, as well as your A1C. All these things together, especially with PCOS, people with PCOS tend to have insulin resistance, and if you can help reverse that, also helps you increase your ability to conceive. All those things are great, so we can all have our little kiddos running around at our feet, right? So we want to make sure that we can do the best things for you. What we want to make sure, of course, is that there's nothing else underlying. That's why it's so important to make sure that you get blood work done along with your semaglutide treatments, because there could be something underlying also that's going on that's going to work as a barrier against you to lose weight. There's things like the insulin resistance, which is what that's for. You have to have a BMI more than 30%, but what if your thyroid is often not functioning properly the way it should be? Or if you have some sort of hormonal imbalances, which PCOS actually has going on as well, or liver function or kidney function problems, we want to make sure we identify those things in advance so that we can address those and give you the best possible outcome. So it's super important, whether you come through us or you go through anybody else, that you make sure that your blood work is getting done and getting evaluated by a qualified professional. But again, if you ever have any questions and you think that there's something that you're not quite getting the answers to, feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to help.